Hi, this is Dorothy with Scrapbooking. I'm a close to my heart independent consultant, but today I'm going to take two of the sketches from the Creative Magazine Sketchy Challenge Facebook page. And I missed doing June's, which is on the bottom there, and the top one is July. So I'm going to do two layouts, and these are going to be for Jim's project of building a plane in the garage. And I'm using one of his designs for t-shirt. He makes t-shirts with my CRICUT, and he's adopted my pink CRICUT, and I'm using my CRICUT maker, but he's got my Explore. So he's perfectly happy with my pink CRICUT, and he's making t-shirts that say "Just Plain Crazy." And so that's his little design up there, and so I decided to use that for the title for one of the pages. And I'm doing strips here. That's a 1/4-inch vanilla. It's a real creamy white, but it's called French vanilla. And I'm putting it on top of the dark side of sapphire. And I'm going... Actually, I should have gone a little bit closer to the bottom because I kind of squished my title, but I made it work without having to rip everything off again, my usual. So it's like 2 and 3/4 inches up from the bottom. And so I'm putting my dual strip there, and I just think it's kind of striking looking. The background needs something that's a little peppy looking, I think. But I love the urban paper. It's been perfect for this project. It's just, funky and scuzzy and dirty, and it's just perfect for a garage project. So I'm doing another strip to go on top of the pictures, and that is going to be like a frame. And then I've got my little journaling strips. Those are 1/4-inch strips. And you can put these in any kind of lineup that you want. You can put them in a diagonal lining, and move it arrangement and like that. Or I'm going like that. Or you could put them in a perfect square or a rectangle rather. Whatever you want to do. So I'm taking, see, that's why the plane really needed more space. So that's why the picture should have been lower. This is what happens when you just run by the seat of your pants and you don't really plan things out. But that's okay. You make it work, and it's the challenge of making things work. So I love this little plane. It's very cool, and it's got a bubble top there. So it cuts. That CRICUT did a beautiful job of cutting a look at how fine that line is. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, love that little plane. So I figured, since the title is Just Plain Crazy, that I'm not going to put them in a row. The letters can look all crazy. So, we don't have to be precise here. And right up my alley. I'll let the precision go to his plane making. So there we go. And I'm just putting them down with Tombow. I could have used a liquid, but sometimes the Tombow is fast, and they're thick enough letters that, it works out okay. And I'm going to pop up the plane with the Close to My Heart's 3D foam dots. So these are the thicker ones. They come in a regular thickness, and then they come in a thin. And so this is the regular. And so this is going to get stand up a little bit from the title. So look at how perfect these little round ones fit on the wheels and the wheel pans. I mean, it was perfect. They didn't have to get cut down or anything, and they're totally covered up by the cardstock. So I really love this little plane. So I was going to run this at regular speed and do my talking, but Ginger was crying the whole time in the background, and it was just kind of, she is, I don't know what is the matter with my dog. She's kind of like, you can't be close enough to her. She's got separation anxiety, I guess. And she just kind of whimpers, not whimpers, she just kind of talks all the time. I don't know. I wish I could read a dog's mind. Sometimes I can. When she jumps up in my chair and licks my face, I know she's asking to go out. So I'm just going to take, these are the little stickers that came with the paper pack. I don't know that it's available still. It's just such a great boy pack. This was a bring back my pack. And I was glad that they did, because it was a perfect one for me to use for Jim's project that he started this fall or early winter. So I'm just trying to decide whether I should use one of the other stickers, and I think not. But what I'm doing here is putting these little chevron arrows pointing to crazy to emphasize crazy, because he is that. So that was that. Now I'm going to do the next one. So I just did the July. Now this is June, I think. I'm pretty sure. I didn't have time to do, you know, I always heard when I worked that if you want something done, give it to somebody who's really busy, and they will get the job done faster than somebody who's sitting around twiddling their thumbs. So I don't know whether I've got too much time on my hands and I can't seem to find time to get anything done. So that's I have no excuse whatsoever. This is just such crazy times. It's just so disconcerting. So I'm going to kind of copy my idea from the first layout and use the 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch strip overlay, because these will be running right next to each other. So when I'm just kind of going in from the side about 2 and 2.5 inches. But then I kind of think, you know, I really wanted some backgrounds for the prints. I wanted a little frame for them, rather than just having the pictures go directly on the paper or on the photo mount. So I'm just going to use some of the blueprint paper to make backgrounds for the pictures. So here we go. I love that crackle paper. That's super funky looking. And I'm just putting about 1/4 inch in between the pictures. So there's going to be a little bit of space at the bottom, fortunately, because I needed a place to put journaling. Duh. And this little strip, into 1/4 inch strips on these layouts, is going to be running to the side. So, I mean, it's sort of like a little frame in a way. And I'm using the blueprint for all of that. I was going to use the sapphire. I mean, that would have been, that would have been good too. I mean, it would have been, excuse me, a nice contrast. But this is what I'm doing. Pardon me. I need some water. Had to move it over. My planning wasn't so great. Moving it over a little bit. And this is going to be down, so there's going to be a little bit of space at the top, which I need to put my man cave title on there. So I got this man cave shield, I guess, on CRICUT. It was just one of the images out there. I put in man cave, and golly, I got a whole lot of images, and this was like the first one. So I liked it, and I went ahead and cut it out in the papers. And just trying to make that even with the frames. So this I'm going to put a little liquid on, just so that I don't get, the only thing about using Tombow on real thin stuff is if you go over the open areas, it kind of leaves a web. So this way you don't get the webbing, and perfect use for that. And then the little shield is going to be in the blueprint paper. I'm going to squish that down. Try to make it even. And then the, see, I just didn't think that stood out enough. So I cut a little bit bigger one, about 1/4 of an inch bigger, in the French vanilla. Again, I love that French vanilla. So it's sort of like a badge, it's a man cave badge is what it is. So I'm going to put some more little embellishments on, and I'm going to make the man cave stick up so we can have a little dimension on there. And you know, these aren't real frilly or anything. It's, you know, it's kind of mannish, so, you know, I don't want to go too overboard with it, which is kind of my tendency once I get started. So that's going to be raised up, and a picture can get tucked underneath. And then I'm going to put these. See, I was going to make a sapphire journaling box and then put some, you know, strips on the sapphire box, but you know what? I kind of ran out of room. So that's okay. These French vanilla kind of goes along with all the thin stripes at the top, at the border, I mean the top border, and the edge around the man cave. So it kind of takes you from top to side to bottom. And I'm going to do the same thing as I did. I'm going to put little, the arrows don't stick out very much. I want to put a little something next to the journaling lines. So I'm going to use the stars. Wish they were a little bit darker so that they'd stick out more. I might have to do something to them to make them a little bit more prominent. I just got some toffee shimmer brush. I could put some shine on it, and that would make them stick out. I just now opened it, though. Before, I didn't have it open before the video. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of saying, okay, here's the journaling down here with the arrow, little place to put the date. And there we go. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, and press the bell so you can hear the alerts. And thanks for watching. I really appreciate you joining my my YouTube website, and I appreciate your comments and thumbs up. Thank you. Bye now.